Hi guys, this is the Volvo XC90. I've shown a video of this car earlier. This is the XC90 T5 that is priced 30,000 ringgit cheaper than the T8 that we are more familiar with. Now, a bit of context here. Now, yes, as we all know, the T8 plug-in hybrid in Malaysia gets EEV incentives, all right? So it pays next to no excise duties. Whereas this one, this T5 here comes, it pays the full amount of excise duty applicable to a locally assembled foreign brand car in Malaysia. So, in terms of tax burden, the XC90 T5 here carries a much bigger tax burden than the T8. So, as I will explain later, right, I think it is impressive enough that Volvo has still managed to stick in a respectable amount of kit into this vehicle and, get this car still priced below the T8. But in real terms, if the T5 and the T8 were to be subject to the same taxation, no tax incentive whatsoever, the T8 is supposed to be double the price of the T5. But in Malaysia, the price gap is just 10%. So on a value proposition, it is a no-brainer. You park this next to a T8, the T8 immediately is the superior value choice, no question. And if you're shopping at this price bracket, right, 30,000 ringgit really is not a big jump. So if you're looking at, to get what is the best that the XC90 has to offer, right, no need to ask, straight away go for the T8, okay? But still, the T5 here has a place in the market. It is, and all things considered, I think Volvo has done a fantastic job speccing the car to this level, and and getting the price still below the T8. So first thing they have done, they have removed inscription trim. This is the lowest spec momentum trim, all right? And you can see, if you have watched my earlier video of the T5, you park the T5 here directly next to a T8, right? Immediately you see the difference between this and the T8. The T8, this becomes a lot less impressive looking than the T8, right? Firstly, you see along the side here, the T8 has the chrome trim along the side here. This one does not have it. The rims are a size smaller, but I think it still looks okay. The front end, a lot less chrome bits on the front bumper, right? This is, the grille here is black. There's more black here, but still respectably finished. And more importantly, you still get full adaptive LED headlights with the Thor hammer daytime running signature. Now, you see, the thing about this, about the down speccing a car is this. Recently, when I was in Vienna, I've seen many supposedly, premium cars that in Malaysia come standard with LED headlights, but in Europe they have the option of halogens, right? You look at the cars with the halogen headlamps, wow, immediately, right, those cars look a lot cheaper. So Volvo has done one thing very smartly. They have kept the high spec headlamps and preserved the XC90's respectable appearance. Similar to the back, same story at the back. You go to the back, the taillights are also the high spec LED taillights. The bumper, on the other hand, is not as elaborately finished as that of the T8. So in terms of appearance, if you view the T5 here in isolation, it is not too bad. It is a very decent, very pleasant looking car. In fact, I've grown to like its appearance, but it is only when you park this right next to a T8, you immediately see that the T8 is the more expensive car. All right, the T8 does look like it is twice as expensive. I would say the most significant deletion, okay, exterior wise, from the T8 to the T5 would be the removal of 360-degree camera. Okay, so the T5 here comes only with reverse cam. All right, now reverse cam is okay, it is sufficient, but for a car of the XC90 size, actually I would say 360-degree camera does come in handy in tight spaces. Okay, so one surprising feature I found with the XC90 is this. Here I'm holding the key fob, alright? So under the V, yep, it has hands-free tailgate opening, okay, powered closing, and yeah, so here we have the tonneau cover fully deployed, and I have a couple of comments with regards to the tonneau cover. So you can you can retract the tonneau cover partially, all right? So this rail here molded to the plastic, right? So this stop here is for you to fully deploy the tonneau cover. You can retract the tonneau cover part way, or you can fully retract it. Now, to fully retract the tonneau cover, you see the seat belt here does interfere with the movement of the tonneau cover a little, all right? But yeah, you can you can fully retract it. Now in the fully retracted position, you want to redeploy the tonneau cover, you get the same interference with the seat from the seat belts as well. So yeah, this is something that maybe Volvo wants to look into for in regards for the for improvements for the facelift. To release the tonneau cover, the action is simple enough. Slide this up and repeat that exercise over here as well. All right. Now the problem with this is that Volvo did not provide a location, okay, to stow away the tonneau cover. So you see in some cars, right, you can actually lift this this cover up. You see this area is not effectively utilized. What they could have done is that they could have set aside a space under here for you to stow away the tonneau cover when you decide to remove it. The other little drawback of this rear area is that, you see, in the T8 you have remote release of the folding seats. In the T5 that is deleted, but that's fine. But I do feel that what it misses is that the strap here to pull this this seat back up when you want to redeploy this back as a 7-seater. Okay, so let's close the boot. Now right now I'm using the XC90 as in its 5-seater configuration. The seats here, the second row seats have forward backward adjustments, so the seats are pushed all the way back, all right, and you can see this is the kind of space that I have. Very good leg room, okay, and yeah, so to adjust it fully forward, all right, I still get pretty decent space, okay, nothing to complain about. Now of course, this being a 7-seat, this seats, middle row seats, designed for as a 7-seater in mind, the thigh support for the middle row will naturally be lacking. And also, yeah, because these seats have to be designed with folding mechanisms in mind, there is a compromise with regards to the shape of the seat, in which they cannot effectively provide full proper thigh support. Okay, now Volvo's famous built-in booster seat here in the XC90 is integrated into the middle seat. Yeah, so each of these 3 seats are individually adjustable, right? And you get a foldable armrest here, pop-up cup holder. Rear passenger air con vents only available on the B pillar. This is empty, no rear zone climate control, but I think that's fine. That's not a big deal. Okay, so now let's see what the XC90 is like in the 3rd row. Let me just come back and pull this seat in front. Pull this forward as well. Now I come to the back. Yep, pull this seat forward and I'll lift it up. Right. Okay, so yeah, so if our middle row passengers are sufficiently considerate and push themselves forward, I've got good leg room. Okay, thigh support actually is not bad. Okay, yeah, so the seat here does have the seat cushion here does have a certain recline. Okay, that that gives you thigh support up to like half your thighs, and you get an armrest here with a compartment cup holder. Okay, to release, to get out, just push this forward. Yep, and you can slide out. Okay, so now we come to the front. Okay, we notice that, well, this is the same familiar architecture as you see in the T8, of course with different trim elements. Okay, no Napa leather, you get this, well, it's a slightly lower grade, but it's a hard wearing leather. Okay, and it's comfortable enough. Wooden finish is replaced with brushed metal finish. This rather appeals to me, so I'm good with that. Of course, if you're an audiophile, there is no option for the Bowers and Wilkins sound system here with the T5. Okay, so you step inside. Okay, no electronic shifter. You still get the rotating, engine start stop knob. Okay, this is nice. Okay, this too is nice, and you get this covered lid here as well. So as I mentioned before in my previous review, this whole area is very effectively partitioned for small item storage. And the glove box, okay, yesterday when I was driving my wife, she was struggling to search for the handle to open the glove box, but actually it's here. You pop this button to release the glove box. Okay, this screen is exactly as per the T8. Okay, so you slide this here, and yeah, so okay, so the touchscreen is responsive. Okay, so here we have the virtual instrument cluster as per the T8, and as you can see from this checklist, right, the T5 here comes with the full safety package that you get with the T8. All right, so you get auto braking, you get pilot assist. All right, you get pilot assist, you get blind spot warning, lane departure warning, and the full locks. Oh my god, so jam, man. I'm sian to drive this kind of road. All right, guys, so this is Lin Choi right now, so I'm driving back to PJ from Malacca, and traffic out there. Can you please point the camera there? Okay. Right, so it's very heavy traffic, and thankfully the XC90 T5 here has pilot assist. So basically most of the time I just need to ensure that I keep my hands on the steering wheel, and the car will just accelerate and stop on its own. Okay, so what I've done here is I've set the pilot assist to a speed of 150 kilometers per hour. Now you're saying, wow, why 150 kilometers per hour? It's so that when traffic clears, the car will immediately pick up to cruising speed. Then of course when you reach about 110, then I'll slow the car down lah. All right, then yeah, so right now we are doing what, 38, 37 and all like that. Okay, let's see. And see, this car comes in, cuts in, and the car just very smoothly slowed itself down. Now earlier, just now, right, I tried
speed trap reported ahead.
Speed trap. Okay, Waze just warned me about speed trap, but speed trap all can close now today. This kind of traffic one speed trap. So earlier today I tried my luck, right? When Honda City cut in front of me really close, the car did not stop. So that one I had to intervene. So the message here is when you use pilot assist, please don't fall asleep. Please keep your eyes on the road. But of course, rest of you guys, if you are trying to cut in front of any of these Volvos using pilot assist, please be careful. The driver may not be fully alert at the time. Okay, so yeah, good thing is the XC90 T5 here comes with pilot assist, comes with all the safety features that you get with the XC90 T8 as well. And that brings me to one point about this car, is that this may be the base spec car. Volvo has had to cut a lot of items from the T8, but they have kept enough things in this car to still make it, look and feel presentable for 300,000 ringgit. plus car. All right, so I would say that, yeah, from a speccing point of view, I think Volvo has done a fantastic job with this car. Now, the driving aspect of this car has 254 horsepower. The T8 has 407. So does this car feel underpowered? To me, it doesn't. All right, on clear stretches of highway, this car can take very, very high speeds, and handling wise, it feels secure. In fact, I would, as I've said before, when I test drove the XC90 T5, I actually prefer driving this standard non-hybrid version. All right, because what you get is, you get, you still get decent enough power, and you get a mechanical all-wheel drive, and somehow the dynamic balance is just better than it is with the admittedly very clever hybrid all-wheel drive system that you get with the T8. Okay, so certainly, right, from an equipment perspective, this versus the T8, you get a few things are cut out, but you still retain enough that this is a convincing luxury car. From a performance, it's cukup makan. This car will still, it's slower than the T8, but it's still fast enough to keep pace with traffic, and it's fast enough to outrun many other cars. It doesn't feel slow by any stretch of the imagination. Handling, I would say this is better than the T8. So still, if you want to, so for the XC90, right, you want to, the variant that you want to get, the best value for money is still the T8, because you have to remember that because of all the tax incentive, the T8 actually should cost double the price of this, but it's only costing you 30,000 ringgit more. But if for whatever reason you choose not to want a plug-in hybrid in your life, then this is an entirely acceptable alternative. Whether you compare this against the XC90 T8, or whether you compare it against its rivals in the segment like the Mercedes GLE, the Audi Q7, the BMW X5, this XC90 T5 remains a highly competitive choice. Now, the other reason you would want to choose the T5, of course, is that if you are a regular outstation traveler, you always do KL Penang, you always do KL JB, you always do KL Kuantan, then this actually may be a better choice than the T8, because the T8, as I said before with all my reviews of other plug-in hybrid models, plug-in hybrids are best if you do a lot of urban driving, because every time when you go out, you go to your school run, you go to your office, you come home, you recharge, so you maximize the fuel efficiency potential of your car. But when you go outstation trip, you drive KL Penang, right, you within 100 kilometers or 200 kilometers, you run out of charge in your battery, and then it is down to your petrol engine to pull to pull the car all the way. All right, and with a PHEV, you also get a smaller tank, and that means more frequent refueling. With this car, the T5, yeah, you get a bigger fuel tank, and your engine, you still get good fuel efficiency from this car versus the PHEV. So yeah, if you are a regular outstation traveler, I would also recommend that you get this car. Okay, yeah, so that concludes it for this XC90 T5 here. I would say very good car. I prefer this over the T8. Of course, the T8 is better value, but this is my preference. Cheers, guys.
You actually go to
Oh, 恭喜发财 guys.